Why Edmonton for Corey Perry?
Well, we'll hear more from him. They practice at 11 o'clock local time, which is 1 Eastern, and he's going to talk after it's over. But he is, I think the Oilers were very interested from the beginning. I think one of the biggest questions, and I'm curious to hear more from him particularly, was, would he want to go somewhere where there was a big spotlight, or would he want to go somewhere where it was quieter? Edmonton's not the biggest market in the NHL, but it's a passionate hockey market. And I don't know if he wanted that. I mean, ultimately he did. The Oilers were right in this from the beginning, I think, or early in the process. But there was a time there that I don't even know that they were sure that they were going to get him. So, and ultimately, I think he let them know yesterday. We'll figure out the timeline here as we hear from Perry and Ken Holland later today. I just think Edmonton has big hopes. Perry, before the Blackhawks terminated him, he was playing pretty well. There's, from an on-ice point of view, there's a lot that he can do, and they wanted that player. Edmonton's also had some real success with Evander Kane, which at the time, people weren't sure if it was a good idea. I think if you have those kinds of situations and they go well, you tend to embrace them. We'll see. The one thing about Perry, we still don't have 100% clarity on what happened in Chicago, and everybody had to do some due diligence here. But there's no question in my mind, and again, I don't want to minimize anything because I don't have 100% of the details. But I think when the NHL indicated last week that they weren't going to stand in anyone's way of bringing them back, I think teams just looked at it and said, okay, I don't think that means they didn't do their due diligence. I don't think that means they weren't asking what exactly happened here. But we've seen some people for behavior who can't get back into the league. I think the teams took that as a general idea that it was something that they were willing to pursue. And I do think some teams weren't willing to do it, Jeff. I still think there were some teams who said, no, we're not going to take the chance. But Edmonton and a few others were willing to take the cue.